Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos. Now let's get started. Hey cousins, did you know that after the Civil War, a group of brave black soldiers known as the Buffalo Soldiers helped shape America's history? These men fought on the front lines of the Wild West, built towns, protected settlers, and endured incredible hardships, all while facing deep racial, y'all know what I'm about to say, discrimination. But their story isn't told enough. So today, we're diving deep into who they were, their struggles, their triumphs, and the legacy they left behind. Let's get into it, cousins. So let's talk about it. Who were the Buffalo Soldiers? Well, after the Civil War ended in 1865, the U.S. Army created 6 all-black regiments. In 1866, the 9th and the 10th Cavalry, and the 24th and the 25th Infantry. These men were former slaves, freemen, and even some Civil War veterans looking for opportunities. But let's be real, this wasn't a glamorous job. They were sent to the roughest, most dangerous parts of the country, from Texas to Arizona, to fight in a war against the natives of this land, chase outlaws, and protect railroads. But where did the name Buffalo Soldier come from? Well, it was actually the Native Americans who gave them the name. They said the soldiers fought fiercely like buffalo, and that their thick, curly hair reminded them of the buffalo's mane. The name stuck, and till this day, this is a symbol of strength and resilience. Now you see how both groups have always been tied together. My algorithm is telling me that you're watching, but you're not subscribing. Quit treating me like the cousin you don't like. Subscribe and share. Now, you'd think that after fighting so hard in the Civil War, that these black soldiers would get some respect. But no, America wasn't ready for that. The Buffalo Soldiers faced racism from all sides. Their white officers often looked down on them. The U.S. government paid them less than the white soldiers. They were sent on the hardest missions with the worst conditions, extreme heat, freezing temperatures, and little food. White settlers saw them as a threat, and local governments tried to push them out. And let's talk about Texas for a second. Texas was one of the most dangerous places for the Buffalo Soldiers. Not just because of the Apache or the Comanche tribes they had to fight, but because white civilians saw them as a threat. There were more reports of white settlers ambushing Buffalo Soldiers, refusing them service at saloons, and even lynching them if they were caught alone. Wow. Wow. But even with all this, these men never backed down. They became one of the most disciplined, skilled, and feared fighting forces in this country. Even in death, they weren't treated fairly. Many Buffalo Soldiers buried in unmarked graves, their contributions nearly forgotten. But that's why we're here telling their story today, so that every generation remembers them and says their name, Buffalo Soldiers. So they won't be erased from history, not our history. Right, cousins? Despite all the hate, these men built strong bonds. Their loyalty to each other was unmatched. They had to have each other's back because no one else would. They also built relationships with some of the Native American tribes who respected their bravery. In some cases, Buffalo Soldiers even married into Native American communities. One of the most famous Buffalo Soldiers was Sergeant Emmanuel Stance, the first black soldier to receive a Medal of Honor. Then there was Colonel Charles Young, the first black U.S. National Park superintendent. These men set the stage for black military excellence that will continue for generations. Kathy Williams, the first female Buffalo Soldier. That's right, a woman disguised herself as a man to serve in the Buffalo Soldiers. She was the first black woman to enlist in the U.S. Army, proving that bravery had no gender. These soldiers weren't just fighting wars, they were changing history. Despite everything they faced, the Buffalo Soldiers built powerful connections. Some Native American tribes respected them, and a few even formed alliances. They trained future generations of black soldiers. Some Buffalo Soldiers became cowboys after their service because, yes, a large percentage of American cowboys were black. They weren't just warriors. They were builders. They built roads, telegraph lines, and even entire towns that were later grown into major cities. Now, Hollywood has barely done them justice. But there are a few movies that highlight their story. Buffalo Soldiers, 1997, starring Danny Glover. This one tells a powerful story of their struggles and their victories. And then there's Buffalo Soldiers, 2001. This one is more fictionalized, starring Jaquan Phoenix, but still gives a nod to their history. The Good Lord Bird, 2020. While this focuses on the abolitionist John Brown, it features black cavalrymen inspired by the Buffalo Soldiers. Honestly, we need more. These men deserve a full-length, high-budget film about their life. Come on, Hollywood. Come on, Tyler Perry. Come on, Tyler. Even though the Buffalo Soldiers were disbanded in 1948, when the military was finally desegregated, their influence is still everywhere. The Buffalo Soldiers National Museum in Houston, Texas, keeps their history alive. Military units today still honor their legacy. Black law enforcement officers and modern-day cowboys carry on their tradition. Now, cousins, you know how we do. To the Buffalo Soldiers, thank you, thank you, thank you. We owe you everything. You carried a nation on your back, even when the same nation refused to carry you. You fought battles not just against enemies on the battlefield, but also against racism, injustice, and the world that tried to erase you. And yet, you stood tall. You stood fearless. You stood unbreakable. Through the deserts, the mountains, the wars, and the hatred, you never wavered. You built roads, defended towns, and protected a country that barely protected you. And still, you gave it your all. Because of you, doors are open for black soldiers, black cowboys, black leaders. Because of you, history has a foundation of strength that can never be forgotten. Even if they try to erase us, erase you, you can never be forgotten. So today, we honor you, we remember you, and we say thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for never backing down. Your legacy is forever. Rest in power, Buffalo Soldiers. Thank you. We had to give a huge thank you to the Buffalo Soldiers. These men paved the way for Black excellence in the military and beyond. Their story is one of resilience, strength, and never backing down, even when the world was against them. So, to every Buffalo soldier who served, we see you, we honor you, we thank you. And to y'all watching, if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share. Let me know which Black history military figures would you like me to cover next. Until next time, peace, cousins. My algorithm is telling me that you're watching, but you're not subscribing. Quit treating me like the cousin you don't like. Subscribe and share. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos. Bye, cousins.